When I'm working on a project, I'm always trying to balance those three intentions of color. Remember from earlier? Visual observation, emotional representation, and symbolic amplification. Yeah, these are the elements that make color powerful. But in my world of cartooning, I find the art form has its own set of unique strengths that make it my favorite way to tell a story. So here are what I call the four strengths of cartoon color. Cartoons use color to broaden appeal. I spent the second half of the 1980s watching a lot of cartoons. 80s cartoons were, for the most part, marketing for toys. Each character had a simple and vivid color scheme, which made it easy for kids to identify and, of course, point out in the toy store. It's an effective strategy that really changed the way the industry utilized color to broaden the appeal of their characters. You can see this color strategy at work in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise. The Ninja Turtles actually began as a dark and brooding underground indie comic by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. But when the property was turned into a kids franchise, the characters were given a makeover. Notice the skin tones became a friendlier shade of green, and more importantly, the establishing of their iconic color bandanas. The color choices were not unlike how a marketing team employs color psychology to connect with consumers. Leonardo, the team's leader, gets a shade of blue, a calming color personality, standing for loyalty and respect. Michelangelo, the team's fun-loving party guy, is orange, a warm and personable color with an adventurous tone. Donatello, the team's inventor, is purple, the color personality of imagination. And Raphael, the team's hothead, is of course red, a color associated with power and passion, a color that can be at once bold and angry. Cartoons use color to evoke fantastic settings. European cartoonist Moebius used color to evoke fantastic worlds and mysterious characters. It's always a good idea to review an established artist to find patterns in their approach and understand what makes their use of color work. Moebius, to me, plays the distinct characteristics of warm and cool hues against each other. He takes familiar aspects of our reality and juxtaposes them in ways that make them feel otherworldly. The color in his backgrounds is often hues of purple, blue, and green, and his characters embody orange, yellows, and shades of red. Cartoons use color to represent individuality. Cartooning as an art form has come a long way since the 1980s. The comic series Lumberjanes has kid-friendly appeal, but it makes big efforts to ground its characters in real and distinct personalities. The story of Joe, April, Molly, Mal, and Ripley is filled with fantastic elements and cartoon tropes. But at its core, the book is a coming-of-age story about 5 young women. They're people with families and histories, people you can actually relate to. Cartoons use color to create narrative contrast. Batman and Joker are probably the most recognizable hero-villain pairing in modern culture. And it's no coincidence their connection is so powerful. Consider their color palette. Batman's costume is designed to intimidate criminals. It creates a strong silhouette by using black and shades of gray or sometimes blue. Usually his costume has a yellow accent in the middle of his chest in the tradition of the classic primary color heroes like Superman. Batman's a symbol of dark justice. The Joker's costume is pretty much the opposite. It's much busier and theatrical. By using a combination of the 3 secondary colors, green, purple, and orange, the Joker is a visual opposite of the typical primary colored hero, and a disruptive force when crossing Batman's stark silhouette. Narratively, Batman and Joker are 2 sides of the same coin, and their ongoing conflict gives each character a bolder presence on the page. When it comes to storytelling, color is a powerful narrative tool. We can identify a story's personality by its color palette alone. Now, let's dig a little deeper into how color evokes our imagination.